Hello there! Do you want to learn motion graphics from scratch until you become a professional? Then you are in the right place. We are here to help you achieve that. Through this workshop, you will learn to create a full motion graphic project. We will start by creating our design using the Adobe Illustrator software in a step-by-step manner. Steps that include creating multiple building shapes, the main character, the motorcycle, and a lot more shapes that we will need in our project. Then we will set and organize the files to add them to the After Effects software in an easy and a smooth way. After that, we will move to work on our designs in the Adobe After Effects software to animate them through multiple animation techniques until we get the best results. In the end, we will save the project as a video or a GIF file. So if you want to learn motion graphics, all you have to do is to subscribe and complete this course. Hello everyone and welcome to this motion graphic workshop. In this workshop, we will create a full project from scratch. We will draw our own characters and objects and everything. Then we will move the project to the After Effects software to animate the project and make it move. The project will look like this, as you see in here. So this is the video that we will create during this workshop. As you see here, this is our project. So we start by opening a new page. We go to File, New. Then we go to Art and Illustration. And we select this one right here. And here we are. Then we use the rectangle tool to set the background in here. Perfect. We change its color. You can make it in a single color or make it in gradient. It's totally up to you. Now for me, I will use the gradient. Now I double click here to change the color. You can select any color you want, but for me, I'm gonna use this color. Double click in here as well. And I will select a lighter color this time. I adjust it from here. Perfect. Now we use gradient tool to set the angle of the gradient like this. Perfect. We adjust it a little bit more. Perfect. Now we select the rectangle tool. And we're gonna draw the sidewalk right here. We put a rectangle in here. And we're drawing, make sure that you don't get outside the frame. So make sure that everything is precise and in its place. Now we change the sidewalk color to this color right here. Perfect. Now we remove the stroke from here as well, to avoid any problems. Now I'm gonna paint the sidewalk. There are usually stripes of red and white in the sidewalk, so we're gonna draw the first one. I'll make it in white, like this. Then I hold the Alt button and I drag it to duplicate it. And I put it here. Double click here and I make it in red. I click OK and perfect. Now I select those two rectangles. The first one does not appear well, so I'm gonna change its color so that it appears for now. Then I will put it back into white. Now I select both of them. I hold the Alt button and I drag them to duplicate them like this. Now I'm gonna keep duplicating until I cover the rest of the sidewalk. And here we are. We have a little space that needs to be adjusted, so I need to zoom in. Then I will select this rectangle and I will drag it to cover the rest of the sidewalk like this. Perfect. Now I zoom back. Perfect. Now I'm gonna put these sidewalks into these stripes into white. Perfect, like this. I paint them with white, sorry, as the sidewalks are usually painted in white and red. One important thing I need to talk to you about is the layers. We need to put each part in its own layer. For example, I'm gonna make the background in a single layer, then the buildings in a single layer, then the character in its own layer, so that I can control and manage everything properly. So every part of the image or the project needs to be in its own layer. So as I said, the background will be in its own layer, the buildings will be in their own layer, the character, etc. You get the idea. Now I select the rectangle tool and I draw a rectangle in here like this. As I said, make sure not to get outside the frame. We need everything to be precise. Now I paint it with this color. Then I hold the Alt button and I drag it to duplicate it. Here it is. I make it thinner like this. Adjust its height. Then I will change its color to yellow to make it look like a line, and I put it right here. Perfect. Then I select the rectangle tool again and I draw another rectangle in here. It's bigger this time, and I will make it in this color but slightly darker. Perfect. Now I select the rectangle tool again and I draw a small rectangle in here, a thin one. I zoom in a little bit. I make it in white. I select the curvature tool. Sorry, I need to select the direct selection tool, not the curvature tool. I select this dot and I draw it toward the inside to make it rounded edge like this. As you see, the rectangle has rounded edges, and you do that by selecting the dot and drawing it in toward the inside. Now I'm going to adjust the size of the rectangle a little bit. I hold the Alt button, I drag it, and I duplicate it like this. I duplicate it again, keep going until I cover the whole line. And one more time like this. Now I need to align these lines together. So I open the layer, I select this box or rectangle. As you see, this is its layer. When you select it, it gets checked in here. I lock it like this so that it don't move. Then I select all the lines or the rectangles and I go here to align. I click on it and I align the rectangles or the lines by clicking here, then here. Perfect. And here we are, our background is ready. So I will see you in the next video to continue our work. Hello everyone and welcome to this video to continue working on our project. This is our work so far, and now we will draw the clouds in here. Now we unlock this layer, and as you see, we have here, this is the background layer. When we click here, it disappears and it appears again. Now we're gonna draw the clouds and we're gonna make them in their own layer. So we create a new layer from here to draw the clouds. There are two ways to make layers. You can either draw each part in its own layer, as I recommend, and then you can add the whole layers or your whole project into the After Effects software. And the second way is to make a layer like this, and you put all the layers in it. Then you go here, you select release of layers, and that will take a lot of time, and you need to organize the layers and etc. So what I recommend to do is to make a layer for each part of the grain of the project, make it in its own layer. As I said before in the former video, I'm gonna make a layer for the buildings, a layer for the background, a layer for the character. Each part of the project will be in its own layer to save us a lot of time and to make everything proper and organized. Now we start drawing the clouds. So we go here and we select the rectangle tool. We draw a rectangle in here. Then we select the direct selection tool and we click on this dot and we draw toward the inside to make the edge of the rectangle rounded like this. First I need to unlock the background layer. Then I go here to select the ellipse tool. I hold the shift button to draw the circle, and we hold the shift button so that we can draw symmetrical circle. If we don't hold the shift button, it will be asymmetrical and that will be a problem. Now I hold the Alt button to duplicate the circle like this, and I keep going until I make a shape of a cloud. I adjust the size of this circle a little bit. Perfect. And I make this one smaller a little bit while holding the shift button, as I said before, to make sure that each circle is symmetrical. I keep going like this, and I adjust the size of this one, and here we are, almost there. Perfect. This is our cloud. I adjust the position of this one and its size just a little bit. Perfect. Now I select the whole circles like this, and I hold the Alt button to duplicate them, and as well duplicate, I need to adjust its size a little bit like this. I zoom in a little bit to adjust some circles like this, and I hold the shift button while I adjust its size like this. Perfect. Now I select the whole shape, I hold the Alt button and I drag it to duplicate it like this. I'm gonna make multiple clouds and I put them right here along the sky. Keep going like this. Here we are. Another one. In here as well. Adjust the position of this one. Perfect. And I can adjust the position of the clouds later if I want. After I finish working on the buildings. It will be dependent on the view that I deem fit. So that's how we design clouds and add them to the design. And so that's it for this video. See you in the next one to continue working on our project. Hello everyone and welcome to this video to continue our work. In this video, we will design the buildings. So we start by zooming in a little bit. So I open a new layer and then I start working again. I select the rectangle tool and I place a rectangle in here. I paint it with this color. Then I select the rectangle tool again and I hold the shift button. I draw a box in here. I make it in this color, lighter than the building color. And as you see, the background layer is locked. And if I want to lock the cloud layer, I can do that as well. And after finishing, I can unlock any layer I want. Now I place this box in here. I adjust this rectangle or this building a little bit like this. I place the first box in here. Then I hold the Alt button and I drag it to duplicate it like this. Again, I duplicate it one more time. Perfect. Now I lock this layer. Then I select all these three boxes. I select all of them. I hold the Alt button and I drag them down to duplicate them. Then I select all boxes. I duplicate them by holding the Alt button and dragging them down. Then I select these three boxes together and I put them right here. Perfect. Now we're gonna move to draw the next building. Now I select this layer and I drag it down here to duplicate the building. I unlock this layer. I click here. Then I drag it right here to duplicate it. I put it here. Then I will change the background color. I'm gonna change its color to this color right here. Perfect. Then I select the curvature tool. I click here. And then I drag up here like this to make the building different than the first one. Now I duplicate this layer again, which means I duplicate the building. I drag it, I put it here. I need to click here first to select all the layers inside of it. Then I drag it while hold right here to duplicate it. Perfect. Now I open this layer. I select the curvature tool and I drag this edge of the building right here like this. I zoom in a little bit. Then I select the curvature tool and I make sure that the building has a straight line on top of it. Then I select the rectangle tool and I draw a rectangle in here. I make sure to center it like this. Then I draw another another rectangle. Perfect. Now I lock the background right here. Then I select these boxes like this. I hold the Alt button and I duplicate them right here like this. Perfect. Now I select the top ones and I delete them like this. I duplicate these two, I select them, I hold the Alt button and I drag them up here to duplicate them like this. Now these two layers, I put them down here like this to put them in front of the box or the rectangle. Now I duplicate this building like this. I click here to select the whole building and I drag it right here like this. Perfect. Then I select the curvature tool and I'm gonna adjust the building. Sorry, I need to go back. I select the building, then I select the curvature tool to adjust the building like this. Perfect. I open this layer and I lock the background. Then I select these boxes, I hold the Alt button, I drag them up here to duplicate them and I put them right here. I close this layer. Then I select the first building layer. I unlock the building, the background, sorry. I duplicate it like this. I click here to select the whole shape and I duplicate it by dragging it like this. I make sure it's level with the ground. Perfect. Now I click here to select the whole building, then I duplicate it one more time and I put it right here. I select it, double click here and I change its color like this. The colors I will change them later, just to let you know. These are just example colors for now. Now I click here and I drag to make a circle on top of the building like this. Now I go here, I click here to select the whole building, then I duplicate it like this. I put it here. I hold the shift button and I adjust its size like this. I delete some boxes, or maybe not, I leave them like this. I adjust these ones like this. We're almost done. Now just another building. I unlock this layer like this, then I select all the layers, I duplicate it like this and I drag it right here. Perfect. I select this building, I select the curvature tool and I edit it or adjust it like this. I add another dot in here, I put it down here and double click to make it straight lines like this. Perfect. And here we are, our buildings are ready. These are the buildings that we are going to use in this design, and we will adjust them and edit them in the next video. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video to continue our work on this project. Thanks for watching. Hello everyone, and welcome to this video to continue our work. In the former video we have worked on these buildings right here. As you see, we have the background and these buildings right here. And in this video we will edit and paint the buildings. Now we zoom in a little bit. Now we select the first building, here it is. I'm gonna delete a little bit some of these boxes. Same thing for the second building. I select its layer and I lock this layer right here. Then I click here and I change the color like this. Perfect. Now I unlock the layer. Then I select these boxes and I delete some of them. Perfect. Now we go to this building right here. Here it is. We go to its layer. We unlock this layer like this. Then we paint it with a different color. Like this. We select this one as well. We select this tool, we copy this color, then we paste it in here and in here as well. We use the eyedropper tool to copy a color from here, then to paste it into the one we want to. Now we unlock this layer. Sorry, we lock it, all these three layers, like this. Then we select these boxes right here. We use the eyedropper tool to change its color like this. Perfect. And we need to make sure that the colors are consistent. We need to make sure that the colors are close to each other. We're not going to use red and blue, for example. Now we unlock these layers like this. And we delete some of these boxes like this. Perfect. We delete the top one as well. Then we move to the next building. We click on it to identify its layer. Then we go here to change the building color. Like this. We lock its layer. Sorry, I need to go back. And we select these boxes like here. We use the eyedropper tool to change its color like this. Then, as always, we delete some of these boxes like this. You get the idea that the ones that we delete, it's like that the lights are turned off, and the ones we hear are the lights are turned on. So we delete some of the boxes to make it look like the lights are off in the building, in some apartments of the building. Now we select this building, and always remember to save your project like this. Just click on File and Save from time to time so that you make sure that your project is not wasted in case of a power outage or anything else. Now we lock this layer like this. We select these boxes like this. And we use the eyedropper to change the colors of these boxes like this. Perfect. I'm gonna lock this file like this so that the clouds don't bother me and gets in the way when I drag something. Perfect. Now we move to the next building, and as usual we select it, and I think I'm gonna leave it with the same color. I'm just gonna delete some boxes like this. Now it's good. Now we only have 2 buildings left. We select this layer. We unlock this layer like this. We select it. We use the color picker to change its color like this. Same in here. Now we use the eyedropper tool to copy and paste the color like this. Perfect. We lock this layer like this, all the 3 layers. Because as you see, the building consists of 3 rectangles. And now I select all these boxes like this, and I start deleting them. I use the eyedropper tool first, to change their color like this, and then I start deleting them like this. I'm not going to delete all of them, just a few of them, to make it look like the lights are turned off in some buildings, as I said before. Now we only have 1 building remaining. We unlock these layers and we move to the next building, which is the last one. Now we change its color like this, or maybe to a different color. That looks better. I lock this layer like this and I select the boxes. I use the eyedropper tool to change their color like this. Perfect. Then we delete some of the buildings boxes like this. Perfect. And here we are. This is the final look of our buildings like this. And I will see you in the next video to work on the next step. First, I need to make sure that everything is in its place. I'm gonna adjust the position of the clouds like this. That looks perfect. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video to work on the next part of our design. Hello everyone, and welcome to this video to continue our work on this design. In the former video, we have edited the building's colors, and in this video we'll work on the sidewalk. So we need to make sure that we go to this layer first. We select the sidewalk like this, and as you see, it gets identified in here. This is the sidewalk layer. And now we will put it into its own layer. So we open a new layer like this. Then we take this sidewalk layer and we put it in its own single layer like this. And as you see, the sidewalk is in its own layer. Now we select this layer. And then we make sure to open a new layer beneath it, like this. Then we start drawing like this. First, I need to zoom in to work properly. We select the rectangle tool and we select the ellipse tool. We hold the shift button and we draw a symmetrical circle in here. It's a small one. We make it in green like this. We put the circle right here. Then we hold the Alt button to duplicate it like this. We hold the Alt button and we drag to duplicate a single object. And to make a bush look like this. Now we put the layer up here to make sure that it's over the sidewalk, and I adjust the bush like this. Now I make sure to lock these 2 layers like this, and I select the whole shape like this, and I hold the Alt button and I drag it to duplicate it like this. As you see, this layer does not appear, so we need to put it up here to look in front of the building. And I keep going until I cover the whole sidewalk with grass like this. I hold the Alt button and I drag to duplicate a certain object. And I keep going until I cover the whole sidewalk. As you see, after I pulled the layer to the top, the bush is placed in front of the building, not behind it. Perfect. Now we pull this layer to the top like this. Perfect. To make sure it's behind the sidewalk. And we zoom out, and here we are. As you see, the grass looks perfect. I zoom in a little bit, and I select this layer, and I click on the lower button from the keyboard to lower it like this. Now I duplicate this layer like this. I select the lower layer and I put it up here like this. Then I click here and I change the color like this to a lighter one like this. I put it up a little bit like this. I'm sorry, I said a lighter, but it's a darker color. Perfect. Now I select these two layers and I lower them a little bit like this. That looks perfect. I select both of them again and I need to cover this space like this. As I said before, just make sure not to go outside the frame. And here we are. This is the final look of the trees in the sidewalk. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video to work on the next part of our design. Thanks for watching. This is the buildings that we will work on in the next video. So see you in the next video. Hello everyone, and welcome to this video. This is our design so far that we have worked on in the former videos. And in this video we will design these buildings right here. These front houses. We will design these houses in a separate page, then we will paste them into our design so that everything stays separate and in its proper way, and so that I can explain more precise and effectively. So we start by saving this design. Then we go to File, New, and we open a new page. Here it is. This is our recent designs. Settings. We select the rectangle tool and we draw the building right here. We remove the stroke and we paint the building with this color. We go to Edit. We select the building, then we go to Edit, Copy, and Edit, Paste in front to duplicate the shape. Then we drag this shape like this. Adjust its size like this from the sides. Then we change its color like this. Then we select this shape, we hold the Alt button, we drag it down to duplicate it like this. We put it up a little bit. Perfect. Then we duplicate this shape again, we select it, we hold the Alt button, we drag it, or we can select it, Control C, then Control V to duplicate it. Now we change this one to this color, it's a little bit darker, we adjust its size like this. Then we use the curvature tool and we adjust the shape like this. Like this. We adjust its size a little bit. Perfect. Now we select the rectangle tool to draw the windows. We draw the first rectangle in here. We zoom in so that you can work properly. We change the color like this. paint it with this color. We activate the stroke, we make it in white, and we adjust its size to 6 points like this. I select the rectangle tool and I draw a rectangle, a small one in here, just in the middle. Perfect, like this. Now we open this layer, we go to the rectangle, we lock it, then we select this shape like this, the window, we hold the Alt button and we drag it up like this to duplicate it, then we hold the Shift button and we adjust the size like this. We hold the Alt button, we drag it to the right to duplicate it again, and we place it right here. Now we're going to draw the door, so we select the rectangle tool and we draw the door like this. Remove the stroke, then we change the color. I'm going to use the eyedropper tool to copy this color and to paint the door with it like this. Now we select the ellipse tool, we hold the Shift button to draw a symmetrical circle, to draw the doorknob like this. Double click here to change its color, or I'm going to use the eyedropper tool like this. And this is our first house is ready. Now we're going to duplicate this house because we're going to make two versions of it. As you see, we have this one in yellow and the other one in green. So we will duplicate it. It's the same house, just a different color, so we will duplicate it to make sure that we save time. We drag the layer like this, and here we are. We have two layers, which means we have two buildings. We select this one, and sorry, I need to select it like this, and I unlock this layer. Then I drag it right here to duplicate it like this. There are different ways to duplicate certain objects. This way is better in here. Now I'm gonna just make a little adjustment to the house like this. Then I'm gonna change its color to green, as you saw in the original design, like this, or maybe a little bit lighter. Perfect, same thing here. I'm gonna copy this color. I use the eyedropper tool to copy and paste the color, then I change it a little bit like this. Same thing in here. I paint this one this color. I click here, then I select a lighter color a little bit like this, or maybe darker, sorry. We paint the door with this color, same thing with the doorknob. I use the eyedropper tool to paint it with this color. Perfect. Now we have here two houses ready. Now we're gonna add it to the design to look like this. So we select this layer like this. This is our design so far. I open a new layer and I drag the shape like this right here. I put the building in here, I adjust its size. I hold the Shift button while I am adjusting its size like this to make sure that everything stays perfect. Now we select the layer like this and we move it a little bit. And as you see, it's the same building, just with a little bit different color. We select its layer like this and we move it to the right a little bit. Perfect. Now it looks perfect. Now we do the same thing for this building. We unlock this layer like this. Make sure to unlock any layer that it's locked before you copy the building. Now we open a new layer, then we select the building and we drag it to the design page like this. We put it here, and again we hold the Shift button and we adjust its size like this. I make it wider a little bit. You move it to the right a little bit like this, and perfect. And here we are, we have here two buildings in the design. Now I'll see you in the next video to work on the next buildings. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Hello everyone, and welcome to this video to continue working on our project. In the former video we worked on these two houses right here. We have the left one and the right one. And I'm just gonna make just some slight adjustments in the colors of these houses. I select the house, then double click in here, and I change the color a little bit like this. That looks better, and same thing for this one. I select it, double click here, and I change the color slightly like this. Perfect. Now we have these two houses ready. We go back to our design page and we hide these two houses and start working on the next two. Now I zoom in. I select the rectangle tool. I make a rectangle in here. I change its color. Perfect. Or maybe this color, it's better. Yeah, that looks better. Now I select the rectangle, I go to edit, copy, then edit, paste in front, and here we are. We adjust the size of this rectangle, then we change its color like this. I zoom in a little bit. And I adjust the size of this rectangle like this. I select both shapes, I go to align, I click here and here. Perfect. Now I select this rectangle, I hold the Alt button, I drag it down to duplicate it like this. Then I adjust its size. Now that's perfect. I put it up a little bit. And I adjust the size of this rectangle like this. I pull this one up a little bit more. And I hold the Alt button, I drag it down to duplicate it again. I pull it up a little bit. Then I change the color of this rectangle. I make it a lighter color than the one that is already with. Now I make this one with the same color this one. Then I select the rectangle. And I draw a rectangle in here. Then I duplicate this one again by holding the Alt button and dragging it upside or downside, it doesn't matter. I put it here. Now I select the ellipse tool. I hold the Shift button and I draw a symmetrical circle in here. Now I activate the stroke. I make it in this color. And I will make it at 8 points, or maybe just 6. I think 4 is the best one. Then I copy this color using the eyedropper tool. And I make the fill in this color. The fill is the internal color of a certain shape. Now I adjust the size of the stroke to 4 points. That's better. Now I select the rectangle tool and I put a rectangle in here. I remove the stroke and I make it in this color. I need to center it a little bit, so I move it to the right a little. That's perfect. Now I open this layer. I need to remove this house so that these layers go away, because they confuse me a little bit. Now we lock this layer, then we select this shape. I hold the Alt button And first I need to center it a little bit like this. Then I select the whole shape, I hold the Alt button and I drag it to duplicate it. I duplicate it one more time. Now I duplicate the windows like this. And I select the rectangle tool to paint or to draw the door in here. I change the fill to stroke. I make it to 4 points like this. Then I select the scissors tool and I click here and here to delete this part like this. I change the fill color to, first I need to use the eyedropper to copy this color and I paste it in here. I select the door and I paste it like this. Now I use the rectangle tool and I put a line in here. I remove the stroke. I leave only the fill to make it look like this. It looks like a glass door. I need to center this line like this. I select this part, I hold the Alt button and I duplicate the door like this. Then I will delete this one. Now I go up here, I select the rectangle tool and I draw a rectangle in here. I make it in this color. And here we are, this is our next building ready to go. I select this layer like this and I open a new layer in here in this page. Then I will drag the shape to our design page. I put it here. Sorry, I need to select it like this. Then I place it right here and I will adjust its size like this. I hold the shift button while I'm adjusting its size to make sure that everything stays perfect. Now it looks perfect. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video to work on the fourth building in this design. Thanks for watching. Hello everyone and welcome to this video to continue working on our project. In the former videos we designed these 3 houses right here, and in this video we'll work on the 4th house. So now we go to our work page. We drag this house right here. So I need to go back. I need to unlock the background and I select the house like this and I put it in the left like this. Now I open a new layer and I start designing the next house. I need to put this one right here to leave the perfect amount of space. Now I select the new layer and using the rectangle tool I create a rectangle in here. I paint it with this color. I need to make it a little bit lighter. Perfect. Now I select the shape, I go to edit, copy, edit, paste in front. And I put this one right here like this. The second one I adjust its size and I put it here. Then I will change its color like this. Perfect. I hold the Alt button and I drag this shape like this to duplicate it. I put it here and I adjust its size like this. Again, I hold the Alt button and I drag it up to duplicate it. Then I put it right here, I adjust its size and I will change its color slightly like this. Perfect. Then I select the rectangle tool and I draw a rectangle in here. I will keep it with this color. Again, I select the rectangle tool and I draw a rectangle in here. And now I will change this rectangle color like this. To make it look like it's a window, I make a white stroke and I adjust the stroke size to 4 points like this. Or maybe I'll leave it at 4, or maybe I'm gonna change it. I think 4 will be fine. I'll leave it at 4. Now I adjust this color a little bit like this. Perfect. Now I select the rectangle tool again. I draw a rectangle in here, a small one, to make it look like a line. I remove the fill. Perfect. Now we go to the lower parts of the house. I use the rectangle tool and I draw a smaller window right here. I make it in this color to make it look like glass, so I use the eyedropper tool to copy and paste this color. Then I select the rectangle tool and I put a rectangle in here to make it look like it's the half of the window. It's the middle of the window like this. I need to zoom in to make sure that the rectangle is in the middle perfectly. I need to zoom in to make sure that everything is in its place. Perfect. Now I select the background layer, I lock it, and I select this rectangle and I align this one. I need to center it like this, and I hold the window, I select it, I hold the Alt button and I drag it to the right to make sure to duplicate it. Now I will use the rectangle tool to draw the door, so I draw a rectangle in here. I adjust its size like this. Then I select this color, I copy it here using the eyedropper tool. Now I make a stroke and I make it in white, then I make it at 5 points like this. Now I select the scissors tool and I click here, then here. Sorry, I need to go back. I select this place and I select it and I click delete from the keyboard to delete this part. Now I select the ellipse tool and I hold the shift button and I draw a circle in here to look like a doorknob. I remove the stroke and I select this color, I copy it and I paste it in here using the eyedropper tool. And now the house design is already, it's close. Now I select it like this. I open a new layer in this page. Then I will select this house. I need to select it from here. First I need to unlock this layer. Then I select the house from this layer. Then I drag it to the design page and I put it here. I adjust its position like this and its size. I adjust its size while holding the shift button to make sure that everything stays perfect. And I put it right here. Perfect. Now I can adjust the position of the houses. I need to adjust the space between the houses. Now I save the design by going to File, Save. And now I need to adjust the buildings in the back like this. I adjust the size of this building. Same thing for this one. And this one as well. You don't have to make these adjustments if you don't like them. This is just how I see the design. It depends on your point of view. Perfect. Now our design looks like this so far, and as you see we have the background, the sidewalk, the buildings in behind, the trees, and these houses right here. Now we have the character left to be designed, and I'll meet you in the next videos to work on the character and design it. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Hello everyone and welcome to this video to continue working on our project. This is our project so far. As you see, we have designed the street, the sidewalk, the buildings behind, the background, the skies, and these houses right here. And in this video, we'll work on this motorcycle and the character driving it. So we start by working on a new page, which makes things easier and clearer for you to follow. And then we will take our design of the motorcycle and the character and integrate it to the design. So we start right here by selecting the pen tool and we start drawing like this. We place the first dot right here. Then we go here, we click and drag like this to make a curvy line. Then we place the next dot in here. We click and drag like this. Same thing in here, we click and drag. I keep going like this. Sorry, I need to go back. I'm gonna remove the fill so that I can work properly. As you see, the fill makes things harder for me. So when we remove it, things go a little bit smoother. Perfect. Now, as you see, the shape is a little bit tricky, so we need to fix it. So we use the curvature tool to fix the shape like this. We click on this dot and we adjust the shape like this. I keep going until I get the image or the shape I want. I keep going like this. Perfect. Just a little bit adjustments more. Now we click here to add the internal color or the fill, like this. Now we zoom in and we keep adjusting our shape like this. I select the pen tool. I click here, place the first dot in here, then I keep going like this. To make sure that we design the tail light. Now we change its color like this. Again, I draw another shape to complete the tail light. Then I make it in red. Perfect. I adjust its position a little bit. Great. Now I select the rounded rectangle tool or the rectangle tool and I draw a rectangle in here. I make it in black. Then I select the rectangle tool and I make another rectangle in here. Sorry, I'm using the wrong tool. I need to drag the rectangle and put it here. I tilt it a little bit. And right click, I go to arrange and I click on send to back like this to make it look like it's behind the motorcycle carcass. Now I select the pen tool and I keep drawing like this. Place the final dot in here. Then I reconnect the last one with the first one. Like this, and here we have ourselves a chair, or a seat in this case. So this is the motorcycle seat, and we change its color to light blue like this. Perfect. I need to adjust the motorcycle body a little bit like this. I adjust the seat shape as well. Now I draw this shape like this. Now we remove the fill. I make the stroke in this color. Then I select this tool and I click here, then here. I click and drag like this. Then I rotate the shape a little bit like this. Perfect. And now I select the curvature tool to adjust the shape like this. Perfect. Now I select this shape, I hold the Alt button and I drag it to duplicate it. Then right click, arrange, send to back. Then I change its color like this. I hold the Alt button, I drag it down to duplicate it. Then I change its color like this. And I put it down here. That's perfect. Change the color a little bit. That's good. Now I select the rectangle tool and I'm gonna draw 3 rectangles in here. Make it in light blue or sky blue. I put it here. Then I use the curvature tool to fix it a little bit like this. I need to zoom in to work properly. I drag these dots toward the inside so that we can make a rounded edge for the rectangle, and as I said, I make 3 copies of it. Then I select the pen tool, place the first dot in here, second one in here, I click and drag, then the third one, and I connect the last dot with the first one. Perfect. Now I select the pen tool, place a dot in here, another one in here, I click and drag like this. I reselect the last dot. I need to remove the fill first. Then I place a dot in here, then I click and drag like this. Place another one in here, I click and drag. The next one in here, again I click and drag. Keep going like this. The next one in here. Then I connect the last one with the first one like this. Now I change the color of this new shape. I'm gonna make it in this color. Then I click here and I make it darker a little bit, or maybe even more dark. Perfect. Now I move to the next part. I select the rectangle tool and I select the ellipse tool. I hold the shift button and I draw a circle in here. I hold the shift button to make sure that the circle is symmetrical. Then I put the circle right here. Then I select the pen tool and I place the first dot in here, second one in here, I click and drag, third one I click and drag, keep going like this, and I change the fill to stroke. I select the shapes like this. So I need right click here and I select the shape builder tool. I hold the Alt button, I click here to delete this part right here. Then I delete this part using the shape builder tool again. Perfect. Now I need to adjust this shape a little bit. I make it in this color. Then I select the pen tool and I draw a shape in here like this. Perfect. Double click here to change its color. That's perfect. Then I select the pen tool and I draw another shape in here like this. I adjust it using the curvature tool. And I make it light in this color. I zoom out to take a good look at our design so far. We're almost done. Now we're gonna draw the wheels. So we zoom in a little bit like this. I open a new layer because we're gonna move the wheels, so they need to be in their own single layer. So that's why we're opening a new layer. Now I hold the shift button and I draw a circle in here. I make it in this gray color like this. And I make the stroke in black. Perfect. Now I select the circle like this. And I go to edit, copy, edit again, paste in back. Then I go to transform and I adjust the size like this. I link them like this. Then I change the width, so I'm just gonna type 57 in here, and here we are. Then I go to edit, copy, and edit paste in place again. Sorry, paste in back again. And then I add another 20 points, so it becomes 77, like this. Then again, I go to transform, and I add 30% this time, so 30 points, so it becomes 107. In the width, I click OK, and here we are. Sorry, I need to select the shape first. I go to edit, copy, edit, paste in back. Then I go to transform and I increase it by 30 points, so it became 107, like this. Now I select the shape. I go to the shape builder tool. I hold the Alt button and I delete this part like this. I make this part in black. Now I select the pen tool and I draw another shape in here like this. Then right click, arrange, send to back. Then I draw another similar shape in here. Again, right click, arrange, send to back. And another shape similar to the former two. Then right click, arrange, send to back. Perfect. And here we are, our wheel is ready. Now I select the whole shape like this. I hold the shift button and I adjust the size of the wheel like this. Now I drag the layer down here to make sure that the wheel is behind the motorcycle body. I zoom out so that I can see properly, and I need to adjust the size of the wheel even more. And I put it right here. Perfect. Now I duplicate this layer like this. Then I select it and I drag it right here. Perfect. I select the whole shapes like this. I hold the Control Alt button, then I select all the layers and I rotate the motorcycle like this a little bit. Now we are going to draw the driving wheel. We draw the driving wheel, sorry. And make sure to change the color to this light color like this. Now I select the pen tool and I draw a shape like this to make sure like it's the headlights. Then we select the rectangle tool or the ellipse tool in this case and we make it in this color. Then I select the pen tool and I draw the side mirror like this. I remove the stroke. Sorry, I remove the fill and I activate the stroke. Sorry, I need to zoom in to work properly. I select this tool. And I make this shape like this. Same thing in here. I click and drag until I get this effect. Perfect. Then I keep drawing the side mirror like this. I draw an oval shape like this, and I rotate it a little bit. Then I make it in this color like this. Then I select the pen tool. I draw this shape like this. I remove the stroke. And I make the color like this. I center the shape like this and I zoom out. Now we need to adjust the size of the mirror. I hold the shift button and I adjust the size like this. Now it's perfect. The side mirror is ready. The headlights are ready, the wheels are in place, the chair is in place, the tail light is in place as well. Now I select the pen tool, or maybe first I save the project so that I don't lose it in case of a blackout or anything, and always make sure to save your project from a while to another, just in case if there is a blackout or something wrong with your desktop or laptop. Now I select the rounded rectangle tool and I draw a rounded rectangle in here. I rotate it a little bit. Double click here and I make it in this color. So it looks like a cargo shipment right here. Now we adjust the look by adding this shape like this. We change the color a little bit like this. I zoom in a little bit. I select the curvature tool and I adjust this shape a little bit like this. Perfect. I zoom out. And here we are, our motorcycle is ready. It's almost ready, just some adjustments, slight adjustments. We select the curvature tool in here and I adjust the shape like this. Perfect. And I adjust this shape, its position, right click, arrange, send to back, and I put it here. Perfect. That looks perfect. The motorcycle is ready to go. So I select the whole motorcycle. I adjust its size like this while holding the shift button, of course. I select it again. I adjust the position of this shape like this. The color of this shape. That's perfect. So the motorcycle is ready. All we have to do is to add the character to the motorcycle. So we will do that in the next video. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video to add the character to the motorcycle and to the design. Hello everyone, and welcome to this video to continue working on our project. In the former video we designed this motorcycle right here. And before we continue our work in our project, I want to share with you something important. As you see here, we have multiple layers, and this is not the original state of these layers, as I have merged some layers together. I could have not mentioned all of this, but I wanted to mention to you so that I explain it to you so that you can be prepared for anything that it might go wrong. So you need to know everything in details. First we open a new layer. Then we select the wheel layers. We hold Ctrl plus Alt, then we select all the layers related to the wheel. Here they are. They're all selected. Now we hold Ctrl plus Shift to select all of them. Then we drag them all the way to this layer like this. And as you see, the whole wheel is in a single layer. Now we open a new layer. Then we select all these layers, holding Ctrl plus Shift. We drag them here, and as you see, this is the box layer merged together. And we have the side mirror layer on its own. As you see, we have the motorcycle, the wheels, and the box as well. And now we continue our work. To continue working on our project, we are going to design the character. Now we select the pen tool. I change the background or the interface to Essential Classic, and I put the first dot in here. I click and drag in here like this, and I continue to create the character. Keep going like this. Now this is the lower part of the character. I change its color like this. Perfect. I remove the stroke. And so this is the lower part of the character, as I said. We adjust its position a little bit like this. Just a little bit, some small adjustments like this. Now it's perfect. Now we continue to work on our design of the character. So we design the upper part of the character. Now we use the pen tool to draw the upper part of the character, as you see. Keep going like this, and I connect the last dot with the first one like this. Perfect. Now we change the upper part color like this to green. Just a little bit of adjustments. The curvature tool is a very important tool that enables you to edit shapes and anything else actually. Again, I use the curvature tool to adjust the lower parts a little bit like this. As I said, the curvature tool is a very important tool that allows us to edit and adjust shapes. I select the rectangle tool like this. I draw a rectangle in here. Then I click on the dot and I draw toward the inside like this. Perfect. Now I put the rectangle in here. I adjust its size like this. And I rotate it like a little bit like this. And I position it right here. Adjust the size a little bit and here we are. Now I change its color to the same color as the body part, maybe darker a little bit. Now I go to the layers. Now I use the pen tool to draw the rest of the hand like this. Perfect. Now I use the curvature tool to adjust the shape like this. First I need to change the color. Then I use the curvature tool to adjust the shape of the hand like this, to make sure that everything is in its right place. Perfect. Right click in here, I go to arrange, send to back, and to make sure that the arm part is behind the shoulder. Now I zoom in a little bit and we continue working on the hand part. So I select the pen tool to draw the hands. Perfect, now we have the hand shape. Now I select the pen tool and I draw this shape right here. I activate the stroke, double click here, and I make it in this color. I zoom in a little bit. And I select the width tool. And I adjust the width of this shape like this. Perfect. I rotate the shape a little bit like this. Then I select the shape, I hold the Alt button and I drag it to duplicate it like this. I duplicate it 3 times. Adjust the position of the shapes like this. Perfect. Now I select the ellipse tool, I hold the shift button and I draw a small circle in here. I remove the stroke and I make the circle in gray. I adjust the size of the circle a little bit like this and I put it here. Then I select the circle, I go to edit copy, then edit paste in back, and using the keyboard I drag the shape toward the right like this. Now I select the circle and I change it to black like this. Then I position it right here. I select the two layers like this, select the two circles, and I put them right here. Now it looks perfect. As you see, it looks like the hand is grabbing the wheel. Now I select the curvature tool and I adjust the hand a little bit like this. Now it looks better like this. Perfect. Now we move to add the feet. We select the rectangle tool. We draw a rectangle in here. We select the fill and we paint it with this color. We rotate the shape a little bit like this, then double click here and we paint it with this color, lighter than the leg. And now we select the pen tool to draw the foot. Now we select this color right here, paste it to the foot, and we use the curvature tool to fix the shape like this. Perfect. Now we keep working and we draw the shoe. Select the pen tool and we draw like this. Keep going like this. Perfect. Now double click here and we make it in black. And I select the pen tool to draw this shape like here. I make it in gray like this. In case you made any mistake in shapes, you always get to rectify or correct your wrongs using the curvature tool. And here we are. This is the final look of our design so far. In the next video, we'll work on the next part of the character, which is the head. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video to continue working on our design. Hello everyone, and welcome to this video. This is our project so far, and as you see, we have designed the motorcycle and the lower part of the body, the upper one, and we only have the head of the character left. So we zoom in a little bit, then we select the pen tool and we draw the head First the neck like this. We make it in this color. Then we select the pen tool and we start drawing the head part. I remove the fill and I zoom in a little bit to work properly. Always make sure to zoom in so that you can work comfortably and properly. Keep going like this. We're almost there. And here we are. Then we connect the last dot with the first one like this. Perfect. Now we make the face and the head with this color. Now we use the curvature tool to adjust the head shape and the face like this. We start with the ears. Now we draw the hair. And remove the fill like this so that it can work properly, because sometimes the fill gets in the way when you are drawing. So in case it bothers you, make sure to swap it with, make sure to remove it and everything will work fine. Now we make the hair in black like this. And of course we're gonna use the curvature tool to fix the shape, because there's no way we'll leave it like this. Perfect. Now I adjust this shape like this using the curvature tool. As I said in the former video, the curvature tool is a very important tool that allows us to edit and adjust shapes. We use the pen tool to draw shapes and the curvature tool to fix and edit these shapes. This is our design so far. I select the whole design and I drag it, I lower it like this. And I use the curvature tool to make some more adjustments to the head shape like this. I keep going like this until I get the shape that I like. It always depends on your vision. You are free not to make the same adjustments I am making. It depends on your vision, as I said before. You don't have to follow the same moves, the same exact move I'm making. Now I start drawing the head like this. I keep going like this. And I connect the last dot with the first one as always, like this. Perfect. Now double click here and we change the head color. And we use the curvature tool to adjust the shape of the head. Perfect. Some more adjustments needed, so I'm gonna use the curvature tool to do them. Perfect. I zoom in a little bit, and as I said, there are some more adjustments to be done, so I'm applying them like this. And as I said before, you may not apply the same adjustments or follow the same exact same moves I am doing right now. It always depends on your vision. For example, in here you may want the chin of the character in a different look. So as I said, it depends on you and you don't have to follow the same exact moves I am making. Now we zoom in and we need to add the eyes. So I'm going to use the ellipse tool. I hold the shift button and I draw a circle in here. I make it in black like this. I position it right here. Then I use the pen tool and I draw the eyebrows in here. I use the curvature tool to adjust the shape of the eyebrows. Perfect. I need to adjust the chin a little bit. Perfect, and here we are. This is the look of our character so far. It's almost ready. As you see, I zoom in and out every once in a while to take a good look at the character to see if there are any adjustments needed. Now I paint this shape with this color. Perfect. Some more adjustments needed. I use the curvature tool and I adjust this part, the chin of the character. Perfect. some more adjustments to the head. I add this shape right here. And I make this shape in this color. Perfect. And here we are. This is the final look of our character and its motorcycle. All we have to do left is to add the character to our design page. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Hello everyone, and welcome to this video to continue working on our motion workshop. As you see, this is our design so far, and it consists of two parts, the character and the motorcycle, and each have its own layer. And we need to move our design to our design page to animate the character. But first, before we do that, we need to split the character. As you see, the character is in its own single layer, but we need to split the head, put it in its own layer, and the body in its own layer as well. So to do that, we open a new layer. Here it is. Then we open the character layer and we select the head. And as you see, after we select the head, all the layers concerning the head are selected. Now we select the first layer, we hold Ctrl plus Shift, then we select this layer to select all the layers concerning the head. Then we put them in its own single layer. Now the head in its own layer. Then we move all the design into our design page. Some of you will select all the design, the whole design like this, and move it to the design page like this. That's perfect. But there is an error in this way. We open the layer, and as you see, take a look at your layer. This layer contains the whole layers of the design, the buildings, the sidewalk, the behind buildings, the background, etc. And our order of layers is gone. And you need a lot of work to reorder or reorganize your layers. I deliberately wanted to copy the design like this so that I can warn you about this way. Because things like this happen. Because it's difficult, it's problematic to copy an Illustrator file into the After Effects software. Now we delete the design and we go back, and the right way to copy or to move your design is to select it like this. We select the whole layers from here, all the layers, then we go to Edit, Copy, then we go here to our design page. Now we open a new layer. Then we click here. Then we select Paste Remembers Layers. So that the software remembers all the layers that we have just pasted. Then Ctrl plus V or go to Edit Paste in front, and here we are. Our design is copied or moved to our design page without any problems. As you see, these are all the layers of our design. We pull them up here. Sorry, there is an error in here. I select all these layers. And I put them in here. That's good. Now our design is in its position. There was an issue with the background, but I fixed it. And as you see, this is our design. It's ready. And all the layers are organized in the way I want. As you see, we have the head, the body, the motorcycle, and the wheels. Now our design is perfect. And it's ready to be merged. So I select all these layers. I reposition the design, or the character in this case, in here. That looks perfect. And I can even adjust the size of the design. I select all the layers, all the design layers, and I hold the shift button and I adjust the size of the character like this. Perfect. So this is how we move our design to our design page, and our design is ready so that we can move it to the After Effects software and start animating our whole design. So this is how we move our design to the design page so far. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video to move our design to the After Effects software. Hello everyone and welcome to this video. This is a short video in which I will explain some settings shortcuts from the keyboard. As during the course I will show some settings using the keyboard shortcuts, and I decided to make this video so that you can be familiar with the process. So I will draw a circle in here as an example to show you the shortcuts for the settings. Now we select this layer. You may have multiple layers, so if you wanted to bring a certain setting, you will have to select this layer, then click here, transform, and here you have the settings list. Or you can use the keyboard shortcut. For example, we want to show the rotation setting. We just click R from the keyboard and here it is. Then you can click R again to delete it. You can click S to get the scale setting as well. And of course, click on it again to hide it. So you can use this list to get the settings, or use the shortcuts during the course. And as I said, during the course you will see me bring some settings without accessing this list. So that means I will use the shortcuts. And it's pretty easy to bring a certain setting. All you have to do is to click on the first letter of its name. For example, P for position, S for scale, R for rotation, O for opacity, etc. A for anchor, as I said, etc. Or as I said, you can click on the layer, then transform, and you get this list of settings from here. This is just a quick video to talk about the shortcuts. So that's it. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Hello everyone and welcome to this video to continue working on our motion workshop. After we finished our design, here it is. We have worked on the character, the buildings and everything, and now we move to working on the After Effects software. But before we start, there are some examples and some things I want to show you on how to animate videos or designs in the After Effects software. If you are experienced or you know your way through the After Effects software, you're free to skip this video and go straight to the beginning of our project. And if not, I need you to follow me in here. So first we start by clicking here and we go to the composition settings. As you see, we have this window right here. You can select any duration you want. For example, we put 6 seconds in here, or 4, or anything you want. You click OK. Now we right click here. We go to New, Solid. We select any color we want. Perfect. So this is our new solid. As you see in here, we have a transform, and we're gonna explain how to animate videos. First, we open this transform and we get these options right here. We have the anchor points, position, scale, rotation, and the opacity. And in this video, I will explain to you the position setting or option. We click here on the position to place a dot in here. Then we drag the cursor, we put it here or anywhere we want. Then we click and drag like this until the background disappears. Perfect. And now when I click play, you can see that the background moves until it disappears toward the left direction. You can put it toward any direction if you want. And you can go to preview here. You click on play and you get to see a preview of your work. So this is how we animate or move the background. As I said, we moved it toward the left and we can move it toward the right if we want as well. Now, I delete those keyframes right here. I place the position, which is the first dot, and I move the background toward the lower part, down right here. Sorry, I need to go back. And first I need to put the cursor wherever I want, then I drag the background toward the bottom, like this. And as you see, the smaller the duration of the keyframe, the faster the background will move, or the image or the design in any case. So now as you see, we have here Control D to duplicate the solid. I go to layer, solid settings, and I change the color from here. Okay, perfect, so that we can identify each solid from the other. And now we're going to duplicate the background. As you see, we duplicated the background and we changed the color only so that you can identify or separate the backgrounds from each other. As you see, when we move the background, we need this background to be repeated or duplicated. So as I said before, if I moved only one solid, there will be a black background. Now we select these two black. We select only the first one. And then we adjust it like this. And as you see, we have the second background behind it like this. Now click here. And as you see, if we move this one, we will get a black background, and we don't want that. Now we need the two backgrounds to be together. So we click here. We click and drag right here like this. And now I select the solid. I move the background. And as you see, after I move this background, I get the second background as well. So as you see, the two backgrounds are bound together. Now I go to layer, solid setting. I select the same color. I click OK, and now when we move the background, there is like nothing changes. Now I click on position, I click on stopwatch. I move the cursor right here. Then I click and drag like this. And as you see, instead of getting a black background, we get the same background like this. So this is how we repeat or duplicate our background. And as you see, the background is moving and we can't notice. So we change the color to take a look. Click OK. And as you see, when we click play, as you see, the background is moving like this. We have two backgrounds merged as one. Now I duplicate this background by Ctrl+D from the keyboard. I click on it, I get its position, and I will change its color from here so that you can notice the difference between each background. Okay, perfect. I select this solid and I drag it like this. I click and drag until it disappears. Sorry, I need to go back. I delete this frame. And as you see, when we move the background, now I select this solid like this, the one that I linked with the layers. I reconnect like this. Then I click and drag in here like this so that we can take a look at the orange background. Now the orange background appears like this. Perfect. Now when we click play, as you see, this is the first background, the second one, and the third background appears, all of them. So this is how you can duplicate a certain background. I'm only changing the color so that you can see the difference. And when we can put the same color on each background, you won't notice the difference and you won't know that there are multiple backgrounds. So as you see now, we change the color of this one as well. We make all the colors the same. And as you see, we duplicated the layer and here we are. You won't notice it since it's the same color. Because it's the same color, you won't notice the difference. This is how I wanted to explain to you, and because you need to know the difference between the first or the second or the third background. So this is how you move and duplicate a certain background on the After Effects software. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video to continue our work. Hello everyone, and welcome to this video to continue our work. In this video, I will show you how to animate a certain video in the After Effects software. And specifically, we will talk about the rotation in this video. So we select the rectangle tool and we select the ellipse tool. We hold the shift button and we draw a circle in here. I remove the fill from here. I adjust the stroke size from here. Then right click on the ellipse tool. I select the rectangle tool and I draw a rectangle in here. We remove the stroke from here and then we adjust the fill and we make it in white. Then again, I make another shape in here, another rectangle. I added these shapes inside the circle just to tell you how to, just so that you can see when the circle is rotating. Now we explain the rotation way. We select the slide from here. We select the rotation from here. We click on it to place the first keyframe, and then we drag the cursor here. We rotate the circle in here like this. Sorry, there is something important, and we need to adjust the anchor point. So we select the shape, we select the anchor point, and we put it in the middle right here while holding the Control plus Shift button. We hold the Control plus Shift button and we put the anchor point in the middle of the circle right here like this. Now we select the solid, select the rotation option, and we rotate the circle like this. And now when we go back and we click play, as you see, the circle is rotating and the two shapes in the middle allows us to see that. Perfect. As you see, we have here plus 158 and we replace it with minus if we want the wheel or the circle to turn in the other side, to rotate toward the other side. Like this, as you see, when we click play now, the wheel is rotating toward the left side. And this is how you can select where you want your circle or wheel to be rotating toward. And you can adjust the speed from here. For example, we type here minus 360. We go back, we click play, and as you see, the circle is rolling fast and it's rotating toward the left direction. And if you want to reverse that, just type plus and select your number and it will work toward that direction. You go back here, I will put it this time plus 360. I go back, I click play, and as you see, sorry, I need to go back. I remove this keyframe, this one as well. I go back in here, I put the cursor in here, I go here, I put plus 220, this is just an example. I go back And as you see, the circle is rotating toward the right side this time. And you can rotate the circle in a different way, much simpler way. We select these two keyframes, we delete them. We go to the rotation, we click here while holding the Alt button, and we get this code right here. Then we type time in here, then star. Then for example, we put 100, and as you see when we click play now, it's rotating toward the right side with a certain speed. In case you want to add the speed, we put 200 in here. We go back, we click play, and as you see, it's rotating much faster now. If I want to accelerate the rotation, I put 300, and as you see, it turns much faster this time. If I want the rotation to be toward the left, I put minus, and here we are, it's rotating toward the other direction. And if I want to decrease the speed, I put a slower number or smaller number in here. As you see, we have here minus 200, so it's turning with this, it's rotating with this certain speed toward the left side. So this is how you rotate the wheels in our design, and we will need that because since we have wheels in our motorcycle and in our design. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video to continue our work. Hello everyone, and welcome to this video to continue our work on our motion graphic workshop. In this video we will talk about the anchor point and how to use the anchor point to animate or move a certain object. So for example, we select the rectangle tool and we place a rectangle in here. And as I said, we will talk about the anchor point, and here it is. This is the anchor point, and as you see, the anchor point is not in the middle. And the anchor point is the point that enables you to move a certain object. So as you see, we have this box in here, and we click here to control or manage the anchor point. You click here, then you select the anchor point in here, and you can put it wherever you want. Then we go here, we click on the rotation, and when I rotate the object or the box in this case, it moves from the anchor point. And for example, if I put the anchor point in here, I hold the Shift plus Control button to put the anchor point in the middle, and now when I rotate the object, it rotates from the middle like this. And as you see, the object remains in its place, but it gets rotated because the anchor point is in the middle. And for example, if I put the anchor point in here and I rotate, as you see, the shape, it gets rotated from the anchor point. So the anchor point is the center of the rotation. So for example, we'll put the anchor point here. And as you see, we can rotate an object like this. And we will use the anchor point to rotate the wheels in our design. If you want to make the anchor point in the middle, you click here, and then you hold the Control plus Shift button, and you make the anchor point in the middle like this. And you can rotate your object from the anchor point from the middle like this. So this is how you can edit, control, or manage, whatever you want to call it, the anchor point. And you can put it wherever you want to rotate your certain object. And as I said, holding the Shift and Control button, you can put the anchor point in the middle. So that's it for this video, and that's all you need to know about the anchor point. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video to continue our work. Hello everyone, and welcome to this video to continue working on our graphic motion workshop. In the former videos, I explained some steps, and in this video we start working on animating our design. So we start by selecting new composition. We get this window right here. We select the same settings as used in the Illustrator software. As you see, these are the settings, and you can select any settings from here. This is the setting that I'm using, HDTV, and in the frame rate We leave it like this, and in the duration, I'll put 4 seconds in here. I leave the background in black and I click OK like this. So this is our design. We will save it, but before we do that, there is something we need to adjust. As you see, the box that was here is gone, and that is because its layer went down. Here it is. So we will pull the layer up here, put it right here, then we select the box and we place it right here. Adjust it a little bit. And here we are, the box is in its proper place. Now we save the design, so we go to File, Save As. You can name your file any name you want, and you select any location you want in your computer. Save it as this type, the Adobe Illustrator, then we click on Save. We click OK, and here we are. Now I go to the After Effects software, double click in here, then I locate our file, wherever you put it. Here it is, this is our file. I click on it, I select it, I click on Import. Make sure to have composition in here and layer size in here. We click OK. Now double click here to open the project like this. And as you see, our project is added to the timeline. Now we select the character and the motorcycle layers. I hold Control and I select all these layers like this. Right click. And we make sure to add all these layers into a new composition. So I select Pre-compose, I select this option, then I click OK. And here we are, the whole motorcycle, including the character, are in the same pre-compose. Now we put the rest of the layers in a single composition. We select the first layer, then Ctrl plus Shift, and we select the last layer, like this, to select all the layers. Then we put them in a single composition. Right click, pre-compose, and here we are, like we did with the character. And here we are, the character is in its own layer, and the background is in its own layer as well. Now we hide the character to work on the background comfortably. Now we need to duplicate this composition, so right click and we go to Reveal Layer Source in Project. So when we duplicate the composition and we want to edit the composition, it will be added to any edits or any adjustments we did. It will be added to all the layers at the same time. Now Ctrl D to duplicate the pre-composition. We drag it down here. Then we click here and we adjust the position like this, as I explained in the background lesson or video. So that's it, we have two backgrounds in here. Perfect. Now we click here, then we drag to this composition and we'll put the cursor right here, and then we drag the background like this. Now it looks perfect. You can't tell that there are two backgrounds. And I bring the background to its original position. I click here, stopwatch, to make a keyframe. I pull the cursor down here and I drag the background like this. Until the end of the background. Perfect. Now I duplicate this background again, right click, reveal, and reveal layer source in project. I select it, Ctrl plus D, then I drag it down here like this. Perfect. I equip this pre-composition as well, like this. So these two pre-composition are equipped to this pre-composition, the third one. So now we go back here. Now the fourth one, yes, I select the pre-composition number 4, the one that we just added. I click on it, then I drag it like this until it's in the last, like this. Perfect. Then I select the pre-composition tree and I drag like this. This time toward the left direction, and I keep going until the end of the background. Perfect. Now I bring the cursor back to the first, and as you see, we have 3 backgrounds moving as one. And you can't tell that there are 3 backgrounds. There are no trace of them. And as you see, the background is animated. So that's it for this video, and this is how to animate a certain background. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Hello everyone, and welcome to this video. In this video, we continue working on our motion graphic workshop. And in this video, we will animate the houses right here. These 4 houses right there. So this is our design so far, after we duplicated and animated the background. And now we start working on the houses. In this video, I'll show you how to make the houses appear out of nowhere. And this effect or setting is optional. If you don't want it, you don't have to do it. So double click here. And I select the houses layers. This is the first layer. The second one. You can adjust the color from here so that you can identify the house layers. This is another one. Make it green as well. And this is the fourth one. We make it as green as well. Now we select the anchor point. So we select this layer, double click, and we select the anchor point. We drag the anchor point down here. Same thing for this one. We select its layer and we drag the anchor point down here. Again, for the third time. And in here for the fourth and the last time as well. We drag the anchor point down here. Perfect. Now we select this layer. As you see, we have here the 4 layers of the houses. We select the first layer. We click on stopwatch in here in the scale, and we put 0% in here. We go here and we put 100% like this. Perfect. Now I select these 2 keyframes, Control C, and I go to the second house layer. I click on scale, Control V in here to copy the keyframes. Same thing here. Control V, and I go here to the 4th time. Control V to copy and paste the keyframes to all the houses layers. And then when we click play, as you see, the houses appears out of nowhere in the beginning of the video. As I said before, this option, this setting or this effect is optional. You're free to do it or ignore it completely. Now we adjust the keyframes like this so that each house appears, so that the houses don't appear at the same time. We go back, and as you see, there is a slight variation in time of the houses the appearance of the houses. So this is how you can make the houses appear out of nowhere, and as I said before, you are free to do this effect, to apply it, or to ignore it completely. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one to continue working on our design. Hello everyone and welcome to this video to continue working on our motion graphic workshop. In the former videos we explained how to duplicate the background and how to animate the houses like this. How to create this effect right here as the houses appear out of nowhere. And in this video we'll work on our character this time. Specifically the wheels of the motorcycle. So first we activate the character. And as you see, the box behind the character, I put it in a single layer. And here it is. As you see, I made an error and the box is here. So I need to fix this error. First, I will remove this box from here. And I will add it to the character layer. Now the box is in this composition. So I go to here, to the layers folder, and I select the box. As you see, I get a preview in here. I don't know, here it is. I select it. I select this composition first, then I go to the box layer and I add it right here. Now I adjust its position, right click, new, solid. I leave the background like this so that I can see the character and the motorcycle. Then I select the box like this and I drag it and I put it right here. This problem I fixed it privately, but I wanted to show you how to do that in case you made any mistake. And you will see that I made an adjustment in the video, in the folders of the video, and you will be confused. That's why I opted to explain the error I made and fix it in plain sight. Now I hide the background. I go back here. I select this precomposition, the character one. Sorry, I go back. Here it is, the background, not the character. And I delete the box from here. And as you see, the box is deleted and it's added to the motorcycle and everything is fixed. Perfect. So this is our design after we added the character. And I will explain to you how to animate and move the wheels. Now we select the character layer. We go down here. I will activate this background because the wheels are in black and the background is in black. You won't see anything. Now we select the wheel layer. We select it and then we click on R from the keyboard to get the rotation setting. Now I click on the Alt button and I click here. Then I type time, star, and I type minus to make sure that the character or the wheel in this case rotate toward the left side. Now Control A to select or right click and copy this code. I go back here to the second layer. I click on rotation while I'm holding the Alt button. Then Control plus V to paste the code and here we are. The wheels are rotating toward the left side. Now I hide the background. I go back, I click play, and here we are. The wheels are rotating and animated like this. It looks like the motorcycle is driving. So as you see, here's our design so far. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video to keep working on our design. So thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video as I said. Hello everyone and welcome to this video in which I will explain to you how to animate the motorcycle wheels. So first we show the motorcycle pre-compose. We access it. As you see, the background is black, and so are the wheels, which means we can't see the wheels. So we need to change the background color. Right click here, you go to new, solid, then we select any color except black, of course. Here we are, and we pull the background layer to the bottom like this. We select the wheel layer, then we click R from the keyboard to get the rotation setting. Then we hold the Alt button and we click on stopwatch like this. Then we type the following. If you want the wheel to rotate toward the left, you type a number, and if you want to, you type minus, then a number. If you want to rotate the wheel toward the right, you don't put anything before the number. You click enter, and here we are. Now as you see, when we set minus, the wheel is rotating toward the left. Now I select this layer, I click on stopwatch, and I type the same code. I click enter, I go back, and here we are. Both wheels are rotating toward the left side. Now we close these layers, we hide the background, and we go back here. We click play, and as you see, the wheels are rotating. So this is how you rotate the motorcycle wheels. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Hello everyone, and welcome to this video to continue working on our motion graphic workshop. In the former video, we saw how to animate or move the wheels, and in this video we will make a move for the whole character, which is pulling up the front wheel a little bit. So this is the front wheel right here. So we select the anchor point, we select this pre-composition, the motorcycle or the whole character pre-composition, and we put the anchor point right here. We zoom in so that we can work properly, and as I said, I'm gonna make or put the anchor point right here. Now we select this time right here, we select the pre-composition to get the rotation setting, go back a little bit, then we select stopwatch from here, we put the cursor a little bit in here, then we pull the wheel up like this a little bit. And now when we click play, as you see, this is our move so far. I need to separate the keyframes a little bit like this to make sure that the duration is like this. Perfect. That's great. And now you put the wheel down in here. We put it to 0 to put it down, because 0 is the original state of the wheel. We adjust the position of the keyframes like this, and now when we click play, here we are. I select all these keyframes, right click, keyframe assistant, and easy ease. Then I go to graph editor, right click, and I select edit speed graph. Then I adjust the shape of the graph a little bit like this. I click play and I go back. Perfect. Sorry, I need to go back. I adjust the graph a little bit like this. I click play now. Perfect. Now I go back here and I adjust the space of the keyframes between the keyframes like this. I adjust the space even more. Perfect. Now as you see, the character pulls up the wheel and put it down in the same amount of time. Just a little bit adjustment in here. I make it plus 2. Perfect. Just to make a rebound. And in here we make it at 0. Click play. We go back here and we click play. I need to adjust the space between the keyframes because the rebound is going unnoticed. I make it plus 3 in here. Sorry, plus 3 as I said. Perfect. Now I click play and as you see the rebound is visible. So this, why I made the rebound is that I need to make this move looks authentic, because in the law of physics, when you pull the wheel up and you put it down, there is a rebound. So that's what we made here. We made that rebound to make sure that the character or our animation looks authentic. And now we need to make the box shakes a little bit with the motorcycle, because as you see, there is no way that the motorcycle and the character are moving without the box shaking a little bit. Now we go back here. This is the box layer. Double click on it. Select the anchor point. We drag it down a little bit. Right here. In the lower left corner. I go back here. Select this layer. I click on R from the keyboard to get the rotation setting. I click on stopwatch. I put the cursor right here and I pull the box a little bit like this. I go back here, I click play, and now we need to put the box back in this certain minute or second. Now we go back to this precomposition, we go back to the box layer and we put the box back to 0 in here. Perfect. I go back, I click here, I click play, and here we are. Perfect. Go back, I click play. Perfect. Now as you see, the box gets a little bit shaken. The box shakes a little bit when we pull up the wheel, and when we put the wheel down, the box goes back to its original place. Perfect. So as I said, we made a rebound, and the rebound of course will affect all the motorcycle, including the box. And now we need to adjust the head. As you see, the head of the character needs to move, but it doesn't. We need to make a rebound for the head as well, so we access the motorcycle layer and we go to the head layer. Here it is. Here's the head layer. We select the anchor point. We drag the anchor point down here. We go back here. We select this precomposition. We select the layer of the head. Then we select R from the keyboard to get the rotation setting. Click on stopwatch. And we put it down a little bit like this to plus 9, and we go back to 0 in here. Now as you see, there's a rebound for the head. I make it 0 in here as well, and here we are, and here's the process starts. I go back, I click play, and as you see, the rebound affects the head of the character as well. But there are certain adjustments needed. I go back to the precomposition, I select this keyframe, and I adjust the space between these two ones. I select these two frames, right click, keyframe assistant, easy ease. I go to the graph editor, and I adjust the graph a little bit like this. I pull it down a little bit like this. I click play. I pull it up here a little bit. I click play. Perfect. I go back here to our design keyframe. I adjust the space between the keyframes a little bit like this. I click play in here. Perfect. And as you see, the rebound is authentic and everything is in its perfect position. So as you see, here's our design, and the buildings appear out of nowhere. The wheels are rotating and the character pulls up the wheel to make a move and to show that the video is authentic. And as you see, there's a rebound on the character head, the box, and everything. So this is how we duplicate the background, we animate the buildings, the character, the motorcycle, the wheels, and everything. I hope that you liked this course and this design. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next and last video of this course. Hello everyone, and welcome to this video. In this video, I'll show you how to extract the project. And we will be extracting the project in the type of a GIF. So first, we go here. This is our design. I will show it to you. As you see, this is the final look of our design. So we go here to composition, add to Adobe Media Encoder Queue. This is the media encoder. It comes with the After Effects software. Perfect. Now the queue is free and empty. We wait a little bit until our design is added to the software. Here it is, our file. And from here, we select the format. As I said, we will make it as a GIF. So we select animated GIF. And then we go here. We select GIF, animated GIF from here, match source, and we drag it up here. We click here. Perfect. This is our design in here. As you see, we go down here and we select render at maximum depth. And in here, we select the output or the location where our design will be extracted to. We click OK, then we click play, and we wait a little bit until the design is extracted in the format or the type you selected. As you see, the format is the animated GIF. Perfect. Now we select the output file, its location. Here it is. This is the GIF file. Double click on it, and here we are, This is our design extracted as a GIF image, and you can upload it wherever you want, in social media, in your website, or anywhere you want. As you see, this is the final look of our design, and it's a very long design that took a lot of time, but we made it from scratch to the end. And as you see, during this course we created our design from scratch. We designed the character, the motorcycle, the buildings, the sidewalk, the background, the clouds, the behind buildings, the bushes, the trees, everything. As you see, we made this design from scratch. I hope you liked it. I hope that this course was useful for you. I hope that you learned some new techniques and how to create similar design. And this workshop is just to show you how to create these kind of designs. Of course, you will use the techniques and the skills you learned in this video to design and create your own designs. As I said, it takes a lot of time. It takes over 20 hours, 30 hours. It depends on your project, but you will make it in the end. As I said, you learn some new techniques and skills, so you will use them and harness them to create your own designs. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you give us a good review after you finish this course. So I hope you liked the course. Again, thanks for watching, and in case there was any question, don't hesitate to contact me and I will get back to you and respond to your questions as soon as I can. Thanks for watching and have a good day.